Right, okay, so to begin with, I'll talk you through everything. Okay, let's do that loop again.
Yep.
But because you've already sort of talked me through quite a lot of it, when I'm asking you to do things, it should feel quite familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the words that you'll recognise and you'll have a rough idea of what they mean and the order of which we're doing things. Okay? We'll just do it once, we'll come back here, see how you felt, check in with you, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next.
Okay.
So to begin with, all we want to do is get into first gear. Lovely. Find biting point. You're at biting point there. Okay. I'm going to do all the checking around, and I'm going to deal with any on-road situations, all right? So all I want you to do is focus on what you're doing with your hands and your feet, but try to resist the temptation to look down.
Okay.
All right? Try to look out there and do things more by feel than by sight, okay?
Yeah.
So, without doing anything with your left foot, release the handbrake in the same way as you did with the other hand. Right, there's nothing happening around us, it's all clear behind. Okay, so bring that clutch pedal up a fraction more, about the thickness of a pound coin. And another pound coin thickness, and we're off and running. Now bring it smoothly all the way up. Okay, and then put your left foot on that little platform over to the left.
On the accelerator?
Put your left foot, the one that's on the clutch at the moment.
Yep.
Move that over further to the left.
Okay.
And there's a little platform there. Got it?
Yep.
Steer to the left. Okay, I've got my feet hovering over the pedals, just in case I need to use them.
Yep.
And I can always reach across and grab the gear, grab the steering wheel or the gear stick if I need to. All right, so we're all good.
Yep.
Okay. Now we want a tiny little bit of power going through the car. Okay.
Accelerate,
Yeah, good. Just a tiny bit. Oh, it's not a Ferrari. If you press it too hard, we're not going to go from 5 miles an hour to 155. It ain't going to happen. I wish it did sometimes, but it doesn't. Okay, so if it starts to go a little bit too fast for you, just ease off the gas pedal.
Yep.
That's nice. Good. So aim for the middle of the gap. That's nice positioning, like that. Okay, so we're going to keep driving down the road a little bit further. Now we're going to go for a gear change.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't need to rush through it. We do need a little bit more power through the car first, so that engine starts to sound a bit more high-pitched. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't rush anything. So clutch pedal all the way down and gas pedal up at the same time. Gear stick over to me and drag it back down. That's it. Now bring that clutch pedal up nice and smooth. And now you can squeeze the gas pedal again a little bit.
Okay.
Lovely. Nice smooth gear change.
I'm driving.
Very nice. Okay, you can't see it yet, but we're going to take the next road on the left. How are you with left and rights, by the way?
I'm alright, but I think if I'm thinking about it too much, I do get a little bit confused.
Don't worry about it. If you get confused, I'll help you out. Okay, so if I
I
say
don't know if that makes sense. Like I know my left and right.
that's right. It's so again, it's so common. Okay, we have got a car behind us, but they're not causing us any problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, but we are going to let them know that we're going to be turning in a moment.
Yeah.
So we'll put a left signal on. So that's down. Left signal is down.
Oh, sorry.
That's it. Steer around the cars.
Just see what I mean. It confuses me when I have to think
Fine.
about it.
Honestly, it's fine. Okay.
So
just have your foot hovering, your right foot hovering over the brake as we start to steer into this new road. Okay, look at where you want the car to go to next and let your hands just naturally steer you in that direction.
Okay.
You're a natural when it comes to steering, like that. Okay, now we just want a tiny little bit more power going through the car. Okay, now we're going to pull over to the side. Okay, we want to stop alongside the curb, not across somebody's driveway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go past the next 2 driveways and then we'll just pull over on the left. So start to aim the car to the left now. And as you feel like you're going to bump the curb, steer away from the curb again, and then straighten back up, and take the power away from the wheel. So clutch pedal all the way down, steer away from the curb, and gently brake to a stop. Okay, don't do anything with your feet. Hold them perfectly still, because at the moment, the car isn't secure with the handbrake and we're still in gear. So if you took your feet off the pedals, we'll just leap forward and stall. So put it into neutral. Okay, we know it's in neutral because that's the wobbly bit.
Yep.
And then put the handbrake on. Okay, now you can take your feet off the pedals and the car won't do anything. Right, okay. So, first time round, and based on the conversation that we had when I was in the driving seat, so far then, what have you picked up on? What have you learnt?
I think I'm sort of getting the basics of it. So the clutch is like the main one to focus on. I'm not great at braking yet.
As I said before,
indicators.
don't worry about that. It's...
Up for right, down for left. Basically, it does sort of just drive itself, doesn't it?
When in a diesel car, when you're going very, very, very slow, yes, it does. In a petrol car, it wouldn't. Okay, just to explain, if you're going to do any private practice at any time, and it's going to be in a petrol car, at very, very low speeds, you need to use a bit of power through the gas pedal as well.
Yep.
Okay, to get it moving as slow. But in a diesel car, it's quite forgiving. All right, so very low speeds, yeah, you don't really need to do an awful lot with the pedals. Anything else at all that you picked up on?
I don't know.
All right, how easy did you feel it was going round?
I found it quite easy. There's just still that panic in my mind. I don't know what about.
Is it just general anxiety and nervousness?
I feel a little bit more relaxed about it.
A bit more relaxed,
Yeah.
okay. So at the moment, if we were to use a score of say 1 to 10, if we're thinking about sort of like your level of anxiety and stress, 1, you're ice cold chilled. Okay, you couldn't be any cooler. 10, you're burning up with anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah. At the moment, where are you on
I'd
that
say
scale?
I've gone to like a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's give it another go. Let's check in with you and let's see if that score moves. It might stay exactly the same. It might go up. It might go down.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll try and figure out why. Okay. Obviously, we're trying to get it to go down, but it's not a guarantee. So we're going to do exactly the same loop again.
Yeah.
This time round, do you want me to give you the same amount of help, or would you like me to give you a little bit less help?
Maybe same amount just for this one.
That's absolutely fine.
Second time.
Okay. So again, I'll do all of the checking around. I'll make sure
Yeah.
it's safe and clear. I'll deal with any on-road situations. I'm ready to step in, jump in. Ignore that. It's just a car doing its thing. I'll jump in and rescue anything that I need to.
Yeah.
All right. You just concentrate on what you're doing with your hands and your feet. And all we're trying to do is get your brain starting to work out what these new processes. It's like learning a new language almost. You know, you're trying to just figure out what all of these words mean and the order in which to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So clutch all the way down.
Clutch.
Yeah. Into first gear. Okay. Get to biting point. Okay, I've checked all around. It's safe. Release the handbrake. Get us rolling forward very, very, very slowly. Clutch all the way up, left foot over. That's it. A little bit of power, but not too much. For this next bend, just come off the gas pedal again
Yeah.
and let the car just basically drive itself round. All you need to do is focus on the steering. Okay, I can't see anything coming the other way, but I've got my feet ready just in case. Okay, and then we're going to pull over to a stop again. So, always the same. Whenever you're pulling over to the side of the road, you begin to aim the car towards the curb. Before you feel like the front wheels are going to bump, steer away from it, and then back to straight, and take the power away from the wheels again.
And then brake,
Yeah.
And then
Handbrake neutral, or neutral handbrake. And then you can take your feet away from the pedals.
Okay.
Right, okay, so let's check in with you then. Before we set off on that go round, you put yourself on a score of 5 on that 1 to 10 scale of anxiety. Has that moved?
Yeah, I think I've gone down to like a 3. It's just the getting used to everything and knowing when to do it and...
Okay. So you asked me to give you the same level of help on that last go round. I don't know if you realised it or not, but I actually gave you a lot less help.
Okay.
Because it was clear to me that as I was about to say do something, you were already in the process of doing it. So there was no point in me telling you because your brain's already starting to work it out for itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so if in any lesson that we ever have, if it's clear to me that you know what you're doing, I'm just going to leave you to get on with things.
Okay.
Okay, if you look stressed, if you look confused or something's happening and it's not quite going according to plan, then that's the cue for me to jump in and start helping out.
Yeah.
Okay, but the more you can figure things out for yourself, the faster you'll learn and the more confident you'll be, because you're coming up with your own solutions rather than just listening to me bleating on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we run the risk at some point I'm going to develop into a comfort blanket and you're going to be leaning on me too heavily,
Yeah.
and you're going to be relying on me to sort things out for you, and then when I'm not there,
I'm not going to know what to do.
it's really going to knock your confidence. Yeah, so right from the early stages, we're always trying to build confidence into things, but we're only going to do it in little layers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm never going to go from where we are now to asking you to drive at 70 miles an hour on the A64.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't going to happen. So we'll go at your pace, and from time to time, I'll just gently push you on a little bit. Okay, but part of your responsibility in the way that we work together, Tyler, is if you feel uncomfortable at any time in terms of the pace of your development, you feel like you're in a situation that's making you feel uncomfortable, you want to turn it down a notch or two, that's fine. Just let me know.